All right, Friday has finally arrived. It is Friday, January 15th. It is time to check our work. So you should have it all the way done. You're just checking to make sure your answers are right. And if they're not, you need to fix them. And if there's any that you're not sure why you got wrong, please make sure that you ask me about it in class. You can send me a little message if you like as well. For the first three, we're going to compare. Which one's greater, less than, or are they equal? So again, it's a lot easier to compare when we have the same denominator. So with this one, this would be 82 thousandths. This would be 16 hundredths. I'd have to multiply by 10, which means that's 0 in the pattern. So this would be 82 thousandths, and this would be 160 thousandths. What's more, 82 or 160? Yeah, 160 for sure. The next one, again, this is thousandths here, this is not. So I'm gonna put a 0 so that they're both thousandths. That means that they're both the same. They're both 250 thousandths. You should put an equal sign between them. And finally, for this third one here, it might look like, hey, 54, that's less than 293, but this is 54 hundredths, and this is 293 thousandths. Put this 0 in so that they're both thousandths. And again, just a reminder, we don't change the value of anything when we do that. Not at all. So what's more, 540 thousandths or 293 thousandths? 540 would be greater. For the next four, we're supposed to add, and I gave you some grid paper here so that you can do that and line them up. Remember, we're always lining up the decimals because we want to be adding those same place values together. Just like when we add whole numbers together, we add the ones together, the tens together, the hundreds, and so on. When we're adding decimals, we need to make sure that we're adding the tenths together and the hundredths together, and so on. So for number 4, I'm gonna write a number 4 right here. I have 0.3 plus 0.45. All right, so it's like button in a shirt. You have your buttons lined up right there. So in this, I noticed that there is nothing above that 5. Remember, when there's nothing above it, the number that represents nothing is 0. So you can put the 0, you could not put the 0. It doesn't really matter. Either way, nothing plus 5 is 5. And 3 plus 4 is 7. And we bring down our decimal point, and 0 plus 0 is 0. So 0.75 is what you should have for number 4. For number 5, I'm gonna write that right next to it. I have $56 plus 49 cents. So $56 looks like that. 49 cents would not be 56 plus 49. 49 cents would be this. Right? Because if I said $56, that's $56. This is 49 cents. Now we're ready to add them. 0 plus 9 is 9. 0 plus 4 is 4. I bring down my decimal point. There's a 6, there's a 5. Now, maybe you were just thinking to yourself, well, if I have $56.49, don't I have $56.49? Yes, that is definitely one you could just do right in your head. I'm just trying to get you to understand that when I say 49 cents, it means 0.49, not 49, because a regular old 49 is meaning $56.49. Okay, moving on, we have number 6. I have 2.46 plus 0.85. And again, we have our decimal points lined right up. Okay, 6 plus 5, that is 11. So here's my 1, 1, and I'm carrying over that 10. So 4 plus 1 plus 8. So 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 3 is 13. I carry my 1. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Don't forget to drop down your decimal point because we added these together and those are the tenths. And we add these together and these are the ones. And if you don't have your decimal point, you're saying that the answer would be 331. If you had $2.46 and 85 cents, you would not get $331, right? So make sure you drop that decimal point down. So again, that's 3.31. And we are now at number 7. We have 0.03 plus 1.456. And again, these decimal points are lined up. Above the 6, you could put a 0. You could just leave it blank. Either one's fine. 0 plus 6 or nothing plus 6 is 6. 3 plus 5 is 8. 0 plus 4 is 4. I bring down my decimal point, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So 1.486 would be your answer for that. Okay. Now we have some word forms. It's been a while since we have done the word forms, so let's get back into it. So word forms, I look at this first chunk right here, and I see the number 62. So I'm gonna write 62. That gets a dash. Now this 2 is in the thousands place, so I have to say 62,000. Then I'm gonna put a comma and do my next chunk. In this next chunk here, I see 90. So 62,090. This right here is a decimal point. We know we write and. Now that last chunk with a decimal, I see 0, 2, I see 2. So I'm gonna write 2, and 2 what? The 2 is in the hundredths place. So I would write 2, and then I write the word 100 with a this. Next, the chunk in front of the decimal point, I see the number 19, so I'm going to write 19. There's my decimal point, and the chunk after the decimal point, I see the number 268. So I'm going to write 268. And 268 what? This 8 is in the thousandths place, so I have to write thousandths. Okay. Now this last standard form, I'm kind of making it a little tricky for you. You'll see down here. I don't have everything in order for some of these things. They're all kind of mixed up all over the place, so you really have to know your place value. And remember I said, always start with the place value that's farthest to your right, so that's worth the lowest amount. And we know that we have learned the place in 5th grade that we're going to go to, the lowest, is the thousandths place. So we want to start by putting an 8 in the thousandths place. So an 8 should be your farthest digit to the right. Now I know that when I move next from the thousandths place and I'm heading left, that I need to find the hundredths place. So I do see that I have 9 times 100th. I'm going to put a 9 in the hundredths place. I know the next place up is the tenths place, and I do see a number multiplied by 1/10. It is 7, so I will put a 7 in the tenths place. Now right now it looks like 798. To make this what it's supposed to be, I need to put that decimal point. So I have the 7 in the tenths, the 9 in the hundredths, the 8 in the thousandths. Now I'm looking for something multiplied by 1. That's what's supposed to go right here. And I don't see anything multiplied by 1, so I'm going to put a 0. Next to the ones place, I have the tens place, and I do see 5 times 10, so I'm going to put a 5 there. And next over from the tens would be the hundreds, and I see 4 times 100, so I'm going to put a 4 there. And now we're done. Okay, last one. I look through and I know I'm looking for like the one farthest right would be something times 1,000th, and I don't have that. The next one over would be hundredths. So I'm going to put a 2 in the hundredths place. That's that. The next one over for the hundredths place would be the tenths place, and I see 4 times 1/10, so I'm going to put a 4 there, and a decimal point, so that I have the 2 in the hundredths and the 1 in the tenths. Now I'm looking for something multiplied by 1, and I don't see anything multiplied by 1, I need to put a 0. Now I'm looking for something multiplied by 10. I see 7 times 10, I can put my 7. Next one over from the tens place would be the hundreds, and I don't see anything multiplied by 100. The last one over would be 1,000, and I do see 1 times 1,000, so I'm going to put a 1 there. So 1,070 and 42 hundredths. Good work. Talk to you soon.